I Live in the Middle of Fucking Nowhere by Sniper6407. I have a pet Wendigo. The whole story is a little complicated, so here's some context. I'm a guy living on a ranch in Oregon. It's very, very rural here. My nearest neighbor is a mile away. To get to my farm, you have to travel down a winding dirt road, and just when you think there's nothing out there, my farm appears, in an enormous dirt clearing on the side of the road. I inherited the farm from my grandpa, and I took it upon myself to take care of the property. The total property area is 30 acres, and since it's in the middle of nowhere, the whole place was dirt cheap. I enjoy hunting, fishing, and camping, all of which could be done on the property. Behind my forest, there's a thick canopy of trees, and for miles, trees are the only thing you'll see. I also went hunting regularly, and on one of the hunting trips I kept seeing this thing. It had a humanoid shape, and it appeared to be pale. One night, I even tried to shoot it, but I ended up missing and scaring the thing. The nearest town is a couple of miles away, and it has a population of 6,000 people. Our area is kind of famous for cryptids. A fair number of cryptozoologists come here yearly. One Saturday afternoon, I was riding down the dirt road when I spotted what I thought was roadkill on the side of the road. Pulling over, I stepped out of my pickup truck. What I thought was roadkill was actually a baby elk. It was the size of my arm, but then I realized that there was something very wrong with the baby elk. It was mostly hairless, and his skin was pale, but as if that wasn't unnerving enough, the elk's teeth appeared to be dagger sharp. I don't know what compelled me to do so, but at that moment, I decided to take care of the lone baby elk, until it was fully grown and able to live on its own. I carried the sleeping elk to my car, and I drove home to my cozy cabin-like house. There's an old barn beside my house. That's important for later. Over the years, the baby elk, which I had named Milo, grew and grew, up to the point where it had grown to the size of a normal white-tailed deer. Strangely enough, I tried feeding Milo corn and plants, but he seemed to like bacon and steak. I consider this quite unusual, but some species of deer are omnivorous, right? And I guess Milo liked meat more than what a normal deer would eat. I kept Milo in the empty barn beside my house once he was too big to be kept indoors. He never ran away or made an attempt to go into the woods. He always stuck near my house. Now, his head appeared more skeletal than ever, and he had lots of bald spots, but I assumed that was some medical condition. Milo's eyes were sunken in and black, and he had claws on his large hands. Despite his extremely unnatural looks, Milo was quite friendly. He enjoyed being pet on the head, and he sometimes tried to get inside my house. On a cold Monday night, I was sitting on my couch watching TV when I heard something tap on my living room window. The one right next to the front door. Despite how damn cliche this sounds, I don't scare easily. I'm 6'5", I've been in the army for 6 years. But for some reason, that tapping fucking scared me. I grabbed my pump-action shotgun and I opened the curtains, unsettled. That's when I heard something tap on the wall next to me. I rushed outside and I saw nothing. Somewhat relieved, somewhat scared. I began to walk back to my house. Just as I was turning the knob on my door, something slammed into me. It sent me flying into the dirt, and when I looked up, a creature was looking down at me. It was humanoid, and it had long, skinny arms that reached down to its knees. It was about 7 feet tall, and it had black eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. It looked straight into my eyes and screeched, and it looked like it was going to bite my face off. But it couldn't, because Milo came rushing towards us, and Milo tackled the creature to the ground. Now keep in mind that Milo was standing on 2 legs the whole time, yet he ran very fast and comfortably, and his upper legs now acted as arms, and his hands acted like huge claw-equipped death harbingers. Standing upright, Milo was 9 feet tall. Milo was now on top of the creature, pinning it down and screeching at it. Milo clawed at the creature's face, biting it on the neck as he clawed. The creature suddenly leaped back up, black blood dripping from the deep scratch marks on its chest. The creature lunged for Milo, but Milo rammed his antlers into the creature midair. The creature screeched and it fell down, dead. I wanted to make sure that the creature was dead, so I bumped a bullet into its face. Milo got back on all fours, and he trotted towards me. I nervously pet him, but that's when I knew that Milo was no elk. He was something else. That night, I led Milo back to his pen, and I spent the whole night looking at the results of the Google search bipedal carnivorous elk, and the only result that came up were the ones talking about Wendigo. So then, I decided that Milo was the real-life variation of the legendary Native American Wendigo. At first I thought, no shit, I gotta get out of here, there's a fucking Wendigo in my barn. But then I thought about it more. Milo hadn't made any attempt to harm me. He, in fact, appeared to act somewhat like a dog, and he protected me and saved my life. So there wasn't anything bad about keeping him around. He kinda acted like a guard Wendigo?